Did you know there was a time that bananas used to taste more like their candy counterpart? In fact, there was even a time when they were hardly edible at all. What about the interesting era in the late 1800s, when bananas used to be central to economic power and government oversight? Come learn about the fascinating history of the banana. They're ubiquitous, yellow, and often taken for granted, but their history is anything but boring. From ancient rainforests to modern pop culture, the banana has made an appeal in everything from empires to idioms. In this video, we'll explore the epic saga of the incredible history of this remarkable fruit. By the end, you'll see why the banana's past is as appealing as its taste. A story spanning 10,000 years, multiple continents, economic booms and busts, and even political intrigue. So, grab a snack, may we suggest a banana, and let's peel back the layers on the world's most intriguing fruit. Believe it or not, bananas may be among the earliest fruits cultivated by humans. Some scientists suggest they originated up to 10,000 years ago, possibly making bananas the world's first cultivated fruit. These early bananas weren't the convenient seedless snacks we know today. Wild bananas were filled with seeds and barely edible pulp. The banana's botanical ancestors hail from the tropics of Southeast Asia, in a region spanning the Malayan Peninsula, Indonesia, the Philippines, and New Guinea. It's in these humid jungles that ancient farmers first domesticated the banana, transforming those seedy wild fruits into something more palatable. Archaeological evidence in Papua New Guinea shows banana cultivation by at least 7,000 years ago, which is pretty stunning when you consider that's as old as the earliest agriculture anywhere. Early cultivators discovered natural mutations that produced bananas with less seed and more pulp. Essentially, early versions of the parthenocarpic seedless bananas we eat today. By replanting offshoots known as suckers from these mutants, farmers slowly bred bananas that didn't require pollination to set fruit. These sterile but fruitful plants could only reproduce via cuttings, meaning every banana we eat is essentially a clone of its parent plant. This clonal nature began in antiquity and continues today, with most edible bananas tracing back to just a couple of wild species, Musa acuminata and Musa balbisiana, whose genes were combined in various ways. One big breakthrough came around 650 CE in Africa, where hybrids of different wild bananas led to seedless, fleshy bananas more like modern varieties. Africa became a secondary center of banana diversity, giving rise to groups like the East African highland bananas and plantains. Bananas' long prehistory means that they were enjoyed before people could write about them. But once writing emerged, bananas made some interesting appearances in ancient texts. Buddhist scriptures, the Pali Canon, circa 600 BCE, mention Indian traders encountering a strange, sweet fruit, which were very likely bananas, during travels in Southeast Asia. By 327 BCE, bananas had dazzled none other than Alexander the Great. When Alexander's army invaded India, they discovered banana plants in the Indus Valley. The Greek chroniclers note that the Macedonian troops tasted this novel fruit. Alexander was so impressed that he supposedly introduced bananas to the Western world. Early Greek and Latin writers did record bananas, albeit as an exotic Eastern delicacy. Meanwhile, by around 200 CE, bananas had reached China. The historian Yang Fu described banana plants growing only in the remote southern provinces. A curious alien fruit that Chinese northerners wouldn't really embrace until much later. After originating in Southeast Asia, bananas embarked on a slow but steady island-hopping voyage across the tropics. Traders and travelers carried banana suckers by sea and land. From Southeast Asia, Austronesian sailors likely brought bananas to Polynesia and maybe Madagascar, introducing them to new islands. By the first millennium CE, bananas took root in East Africa, carried by Arab and Persian traders who plied the Indian Ocean routes. Some legends even claim bananas were known in Africa by the 6th century BCE, though solid evidence points to closer to the 6th century CE. As Islam's influence spread from 700 to 1500 CE, so did the banana. The fruit thrived in the Middle East's fertile oases. Medieval Islamic texts give banana cultivation a nod. An agricultural manual by Ibn al-Awwam in the 12th century includes a section on banana tree care. Under Arab influence, bananas also reached North Africa and Moorish Spain. In fact, during the Middle Ages, bananas grown in Granada were considered among the best in the Arab world, prized for their quality. However, outside of the warmest parts of Iberia, Europe at large remained too chilly for banana cultivation, keeping the fruit a rare exotic import for many centuries. So how did the banana get its name? There's a bit of a tussle among historians. One popular theory points to Arabian slave traders. They encountered the small finger-length bananas of Southeast Asia and called them banan, the Arabic word for finger. The name stuck as the fruits traveled westward. Another possibility is a West African origin. Some contend the term came from a local Wolof word adopted by Portuguese traders. Either way, by the time Europeans were writing about the fruit, they were calling it some variant of banana. Fun fact, another common term, plantain, comes from Spanish plátano, because Spaniards thought the banana tree leaves resembled the plane tree. Over time, plantain came to mean the larger, starchy, cooking bananas, as opposed to the sweeter dessert bananas. Bananas truly went global in the age of exploration. After Europeans explored the Americas, they quickly realized tropical climates were perfect for bananas. The Portuguese were instrumental in this spread. Having seen bananas in West Africa, where they established plantations in the Canary Islands in the 1400s, they carried banana suckers across the Atlantic. In 1516, Spanish friars are said to have planted the first bananas in the New World on Hispaniola, modern-day Dominican Republic and Haiti. From these Caribbean beachheads, banana cultivation spread through the Americas in the 16th and 17th centuries. Plantations sprang up in the Caribbean islands and Central America, where the climate was ideal and colonial demand for new cash crops was high. European colonists at first treated bananas as an ornamental curiosity. Imagine Victorian elites in the 1700s marveling at banana trees in botanical gardens. But by the 19th century, bananas were becoming food. In tropical colonies, they became a staple crop for local people. And in the late 1800s, advances in transportation, steamships, railways, and refrigeration finally let bananas travel to temperate markets before spoiling. The result? A banana craze in Europe and North America. By the 1870s and 1880s, entrepreneurs were importing bananas to US and British ports, astonishing consumers with a sweet, affordable tropical treat. At the 1876 US Centennial Exposition, bananas wrapped in tinfoil sold for 10 cents. A luxury item, yet an introduction for many Americans to the fruit. By the end of the 19th century, bananas regularly appeared in US markets and had shifted from rare luxury to everyday treat. One telling stat was found in 1913, when 25 cents could buy you a dozen bananas, but only 2 apples. Bananas were that much cheaper due to tropical mass production. As bananas turned into big business, a few powerful companies and investors began to dominate. The banana trade's modern era kicked off in 1870 when Captain Lorenzo Dow Baker bought bananas in Jamaica and sold them in Boston for a 1,000% profit. Americans couldn't get enough. Around the same time, entrepreneur Minus C. Keith was building railroads in Costa Rica and planted bananas along the tracks to feed workers. He realized exporting those bananas was even more profitable than railroading. By 1899, Keith's ventures merged with others to form the United Fruit Company, a colossal American corporation that soon controlled banana production across several countries. United Fruit later became Chiquita Brands International, a name you still find on banana stickers today. These companies didn't just grow and sell fruit, they essentially ran entire countries. In Central America and the Caribbean, United Fruit and its rivals, like Standard Fruit, later Dole, acquired huge swathes of land for banana plantations. They built ports, railways, and company towns, becoming kingmakers in local economies. The term Banana Republic was coined in 1904 by writer O. Henry, after his experience in Honduras. It described a small tropical nation economically dominated by foreign fruit companies and ruled by corrupt elites beholden to those interests. Basically a country that danced to the tune of bananas. O. Henry's fictional Republic of Anchuria was based on real Honduras, where US banana men propped up friendly governments. Sadly, Banana Republic wasn't just a joke. It was reality for many nations. By the 1930s, United Fruit controlled 80 to 90% of the US banana market and wielded immense power in countries like Honduras, Guatemala, and Costa Rica. These corporations could make or break presidents. For instance, in 1911, United Fruit-backed Cuyamel Fruit Company supplied weapons to overthrow a Honduran president unfriendly to business. The US government often intervened militarily under the promise of protecting stability, with a focus on American interest. A series of conflicts bluntly dubbed the Banana Wars. From 1898 to 1934, US Marines landed in Central America and the Caribbean multiple times, policing regimes and safeguarding the banana companies' investments. This era left a mixed legacy. Bananas became a cheap household fruit in the US and Europe, but at the cost of political upheaval and neo-colonial control in producer countries. By the mid-20th century, bananas were truly global, the most popular fruit in many countries. But success came with a twist. Almost all exported bananas became genetically uniform, which is risky business in agriculture. For most of the 1900s, the world feasted on a variety called Gros Michel, also known as Big Mike. Gros Michel was beloved for its rich, sweet flavor, that classic banana candy taste. Unfortunately, planting millions of identical Gros Michel plants set the stage for disaster. In the 1950s, a terrifying fungal disease called Panama disease swept through plantations worldwide. Caused by a soil fungus, it wiped out Gros Michel bananas. The plants wilted and died en masse. Growers couldn't breed resistance into sterile bananas. The only solution was to find a different variety the fungus couldn't kill. Enter the Cavendish banana, a slightly smaller, milder-tasting variety that was resistant at the time to Panama disease. In a monumental switch, the banana industry in the 1960s abandoned Gros Michel in favor of Cavendish. Cavendish, named after William Cavendish, the 6th Duke of Devonshire. whose gardener raised the plant in England in the 1800s, became the de facto banana worldwide. It's still the one you find in grocery stores today. But the story doesn't end there. The Cavendish is also a clone, and by the late 20th century, a new strain of Panama disease, tropical race 4, emerged that does kill Cavendish. Since the 1990s, this new fungus has been spreading from Asia to the Middle East and Africa, threatening the very existence of the Cavendish banana. Scientists warn that if it reaches Latin America, it could decimate plantations and send the banana industry into chaos. To avoid a banana apocalypse or bananageddon, researchers are racing to breed or bioengineer new disease-resistant bananas. There's talk of genetically modified bananas or hybridizing wild resistant strains. One bright spot, the Honduran Agricultural Research Foundation successfully bred a seedless banana resistant to both Panama disease and black sigatoka, another serious disease. However, convincing consumers to accept a new variety over the beloved Cavendish is another battle. For now, enjoy your Cavendish and maybe diversify your fruit basket, just in case. Side note, did you know the banana plant isn't a tree, but the world's largest herb? Its trunk is a pseudostem made of leaf bases, and each plant dies after fruiting, sending up pups from an underground rhizome to form the next generation. In essence, a banana tree is more like a giant perennial flower. One more cool reason bananas are special. Beyond economics and biology, bananas have a huge cultural footprint, often a goofy, humorous one. Let's slip into the banana's role in language, art, and entertainment. Slapstick comedy made the banana peel iconic. The classic gag of slipping on a banana peel has been making people laugh for over a century. As early as 1910, a popular comedy recording featured a character recounting a pratfall on a banana peel. The visual of someone flying into the air after stepping on a peel became a staple of vaudeville and silent films, and it's still shorthand for physical comedy today. Fun fact, banana peels are actually slippery. So slippery, in fact, that in the 1800s, cities like New York had to ban tossing them on the street. Bananas made their musical debut too. The novelty song, "Yes, We Have No Bananas," became a runaway hit in 1923.
Yes, we have no bananas. We have no bananas today.
It topped the charts and captured the public's imagination during a time when bananas were still something of a novelty. In everyday language, bananas gave rise to all kinds of phrases. Go bananas, meaning to go wild, excited or crazy, became popular in the mid-20th century. While some think it came from the image of monkeys going crazy for bananas, it may also have evolved from older slang like banana oil, meaning nonsense. Top banana refers to the headliner or the boss. It originated in vaudeville, where comedians in a skit competed over bananas. The funniest guy, the lead, got the top banana. The second funniest, the second banana. The phrase stuck. Bananas have made appearances in the art world too. The Velvet Underground's 1967 debut album famously featured a banana designed by Andy Warhol, one of the most iconic album covers ever. Early versions even had a peelable sticker. In 2019, artist Maurizio Cattelan duct-taped a real banana to a gallery wall, titled it Comedian, and sold it for $120,000. Then someone ate it. The piece went viral instantly. Bananas also pop up in cultural symbolism. In Hindu tradition, banana trees are symbols of fertility and prosperity. In some Southeast Asian folklore, banana plants are believed to house spirits, and banana fibers have long been used in textiles. from clothing in Japan to woven mats in the Philippines. India and China are the top banana producers in the world, but most of their bananas are eaten domestically. For exports, the big players are Ecuador, Costa Rica, Colombia, and the Philippines. The banana split was invented in 1904 by a 23-year-old pharmacist named David Strickler in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. It cost 10 cents, double the price of a regular sundae, but people loved it. What's the difference between a banana and a plantain? Mostly how you use them. Plantains are starchier and typically cooked, while bananas are sweeter and eaten raw. But botanically, they're very close, often just different cultivars of the same species. In Uganda and parts of East Africa, people eat hundreds of pounds of bananas per person per year, mostly in the form of cooked plantains. In the US, the average is about 27 pounds per person, still the most popular fresh fruit by far. The banana's story is a perfect mix of science, history, comedy, and culture. It's a reminder that even the simplest things, like a fruit in your lunchbox, can have the most complex and fascinating stories. So, next time you peel one open, give it a little nod of respect. You're holding 10,000 years of human history, and possibly your next big YouTube hit. And here at Banana AI, we believe the story of bananas doesn't end in the produce aisle. We're carrying that legacy forward, not just celebrating the fascinating history of bananas, but launching them into a new era through the power of artificial intelligence. From memes to music, satire to storytelling, we're creating a cultural banana boom. One video, one idea, one algorithm at a time. This isn't just fruit content. It's the next chapter in a 10,000-year journey. So whether you're here to laugh, learn, or just go bananas with us, welcome to the future, and welcome to Banana AI.
Thanks for watching my bananas. I hope you thought they were nice. And if you enjoyed the video, then please like and subscribe.